We live in a world where most people believe they are free. They believe they are making their own choices. They believe the way things are is the way they have always been and the way they must always be. But what if I told you that this is an illusion? What if I told you that the normal of our society is not normal at all? It is a carefully constructed reality that we have been conditioned to accept. This, my friends, is the essence of mass psychosis. It is when the minds of entire populations are captured, molded, and deceived into believing falsehoods as if they were true. Mass psychosis is not a new phenomenon. It is as old as civilization itself, and unless we awaken, it will shape not only our present, but our future. Mass psychosis is a state in which collective delusion takes hold. It is when fear, manipulation, and propaganda lead vast groups of people into beliefs and behaviors that are destructive, irrational, and disconnected from truth. It happens so subtly that most people never realize it. They believe they are thinking for themselves, when in reality, their thoughts have been fed to them. They believe they are free, when in reality, they are trapped in invisible chains. History gives us many warnings. Let's begin with Rome. The Roman Empire was once the greatest power on earth. Its cities were filled with wealth. Its armies stretched across continents. Its citizens believed themselves invincible. But beneath the surface, the seeds of collapse were being sown. The Romans became obsessed with bread and circuses, distractions of entertainment, endless games, and pleasures that numbed the mind. Corruption ran deep in the government. Citizens became passive, more concerned with fleeting indulgences than truth or freedom. This was not simply political decline, it was a mass psychosis, a collective turning away from reality, a refusal to see the rock within. And so Rome fell, not only from outside invaders, but from the inside, from the blindness of its own people. Centuries later, another kind of mass psychosis took hold, the witch hunts. In Europe and America, entire communities were swept into hysteria. Thousands of innocent people, mostly women, were accused of witchcraft, tortured, and executed. Why? Because fear was weaponized. Religious and political leaders spread the belief that unseen dark forces lurked everywhere. Ordinary people, terrified and desperate for safety, turned on their neighbors, their friends, even their own family. Logic, compassion, and truth were abandoned. Fear became the only compass. And when fear guides the masses, the result is always tragedy. This is the danger of mass psychosis. When the collective mind is hijacked, the unthinkable becomes not only acceptable, but celebrated. Now let us turn to today. Do you think we are free of such madness? Do you think we have evolved beyond mass psychosis? Look around. Our world is filled with illusions. We are told what to value, what to fear, what to believe. We are bombarded with endless media, entertainment, consumerism, the new bread and circuses. We are told to work endlessly, to compete, to measure our worth in numbers, possessions, and status. We are told that our health, our happiness, our connection to each other and to nature should be sacrificed for productivity, profit, and control. And most people never question it. They accept it as normal. But what is normal about a society where millions feel empty, anxious, and depressed? What is normal about destroying the earth that sustains us? What is normal about living lives that are disconnected from love, from truth, from the soul? This is mass psychosis in its modern form. and it is all around us. Mass psychosis follows patterns. Always it begins with fear. Leaders, institutions, and systems exploit fear to control the people. Fear of death, fear of enemies, fear of being left out, fear of scarcity, fear of failure. Once fear is in place, propaganda shapes the narrative. Symbols, slogans, and media are repeated until the mind accepts them as truth. Then comes division, the creation of us versus them. Neighbors turn on neighbors. People stop questioning authority because they are too busy fearing each other. Finally, distraction and sedation complete the cycle. Entertainment, consumption, endless noise keep the people too numb to awaken. Our ancestors were gifted with a powerful tool, the human nervous system. It was designed to keep us alive. When our ancestors faced a real danger, a predator lurking in the shadows, or a storm that threatened their survival, the nervous system sent a clear signal: flee, fight, or protect yourself. This was wisdom. It kept humanity alive for millennia. But today, the same system is constantly being hijacked, not by lions or tigers, but by endless streams of horrific news, stories of violence, threats of illness, war, economic collapse, and division. Each headline, each broadcast, each repetition of fear triggers the same ancient response in our nervous system. It tells us you are not safe. And so millions of people live not in their natural state of peace, love, and creation, but in a state of constant survival. When you live in survival mode, your vision narrows. You cannot see possibilities. You cannot imagine new worlds. You are simply trying to make it through the day. This, too, is a symptom of mass psychosis. The collective nervous system trapped in fear, unable to rest in truth. But here is the truth. We can awaken. We can break free from the grip of mass psychosis. It begins with awareness, to see the illusion for what it is, to recognize that just because something is normal does not mean it is natural or true or right. History shows us that societies can go mad, but it also shows us that individuals, when awakened, can rise above the madness. The mystics, the visionaries, the truth tellers of every age, they remind us that freedom begins within. So how do we wake up? We return to what we have always spoken of. We reclaim the power of presence, to step out of the noise and into silence, to reconnect with our own being. We practice gratitude, to remember that abundance is not something we must chase, but something we already carry within us. We embody the truth that our state of being is what matters most. When we live from love instead of fear, from trust instead of doubt, we are no longer controlled by the illusions of the world. We remember that we are creators. The world we experience is not simply given to us. It is shaped by our perception, our choices, our consciousness. And when enough of us awaken, the spell of mass psychosis will break. Make no mistake, awakening requires courage. It is easier to remain asleep, to go along with the crowd, to cling to the comforts of illusion. But illusions always crumble, and when they do, only truth remains. The fall of Rome, the madness of the witch hunts, They remind us that societies can lose their way, but they also remind us that those who hold fast to truth, to compassion, to wisdom, become the seeds of renewal. You are such a seed. So I ask you, will you continue to live by the illusions of mass psychosis, or will you awaken to the deeper truth of who you are? Remember, you are not powerless. You are not a victim of history. You are not bound by the narratives of fear and division. You are consciousness itself, infinite awareness, a soul experiencing life through human form. When you awaken to this, the illusions of mass psychosis dissolve, and in their place, clarity, love, and freedom arise. Mass psychosis has always shaped human history. It shaped Rome, it shaped the witch hunts, and it shapes our world today. But the story is not finished. The story is being written right now through each of us. The question is, will we remain blind, repeating the patterns of the past? Or will we awaken and create a new future? The answer is within you, it is within me, it is within all of us. And when we remember this, no illusion can hold us. We are free.